No, that was.
Y'all see, I don't know the words to that either. Don't take me
I
karaoke.
was
I
singing.
don't. I
I was
realize
singing
I
mystical.
knows none of the words.
I was singing mystical though, and
Who?
you went to who?
You were singing
Mystical,
who? Mystical.
mystical.
What he sing?
Uh,
What
She was
they?
on.
Rap,
Yep.
Portion.
rap.
She
Rap.
was on it.
Yeah, I don't listen to that. Booga booga booga
Whoa.
booga
Oh.
booga booga
I
booga
go.
booga 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 booga.
Oh
I
Lord, she
don't
was so
understand what
all
they
the
saying.
way.
I don't
We
understand
ain't
what
even
they.
got
Booga
started, y'all.
booga.
We ain't even got started, and she done fainted already.
Welcome.
Well,
Welcome. Let me make sure we showing over here on the books on my
I'm
face.
looking. It say you live.
Yeah, I
There
see
you
it.
go.
Let me share it with a few people.
You're here.
Come on in. Come on in. Do people
come
still do that? Do
on,
people still do that? Come
in the
on. Come
room.
on in. Come on in.
Mhm. Come
Come on in.
on,
We got a word for you
in the
tonight.
room.
Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I don't even know if people still do that. Come on in.
Child, I don't be watching nobody. At
Come
the
I
on
beginning,
in.
I catch the replays.
For
come
who we talking
on
about?
in. Just people when they be doing their lives and stuff. They're like, come on in. Come on in. I was like, do people still do that? Come on in.
Welcome, 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 welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Good Monday. Good Monday. If you're green, happy Green Day to you.
Come on if you're green.
If you're green, I got my favorite leprechaun on the show with me. I got a I got a Lucky Charm and a Sugar Smack. I'm a lucky, I'm a lucky gal.
A lucky gal.
Ooh-wee.
I can't call it the luck of the Irish, but hey,
It's the luck of the blackish.
the blackish, the very blackish. But did y'all know that black people were in Ireland before white people were?
I did.
Doesn't surprise me.
I
Because
did.
the whole
I
entire
didn't know
world,
that, but
right? The whole entire world.
hmm.
I did. And brought Christianity.
Oh really? Hmm.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
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 Do they
Hmm.
celebrate that during their parades and drunken trips down Western Avenue?
I reckon they don't because they don't even talk about how black people were in Ireland first. But we never had anything first, according to certain people.
Everybody,
Okay, yeah,
even where we were first,
where we were
even
first, even where we are now. Okay,
Hmm.
hmm.
good
Mm.
morning.
Even if you was born somewhere, it's
If
just
you was
doesn't mean
born
you were
there,
there
I just
first.
wasn't born there. I just wasn't
That's
even
not where you
born.
came from.
I just wasn't even born there.
Yeah.
Mm.
My auntie calling me. Should I take this call right now?
Telling me lied. Caller number one. You wanna?
Okay. You're live right now on the show. On the show.
And welcome to the show. Welcome to the
Well,
show. Y'all come on in.
welcome to the hood.
Come on
Y'all
in.
watch the
Welcome,
neighborhood.
welcome.
Said Cedric Entertainment.
No, it's getting ready to go off the air, isn't it? It's oh, I'm sorry.
Don't tell me that. Everything I start to watch and be liking that they take it
Yeah, I think
away.
this is their final season. I just saw it on the news the other day.
Hmm.
What is this now?
The
The
neighborhood with
neighborhood
Cedric the Entertainer.
No,
and Tanisha Arnold and
I haven't even heard
some
of
other people I don't know their
And
real
shout out
names.
to Cedric the Entertainer because he's from the great state of Missouri, about 20 miles from where my family is from. He played ball with my uncles.
Oh, nice.
it. Oh, oh wow.
Shout out Hey Ty and Carruthersville. If you know, you know. If you don't, you really don't. They like this big.
Hmm.
Welcome to the show, y'all. March 17th, 2025. For me, myself personally, I would like to start off so I don't forget. I want to dedicate this show to the memory of my cousin, Sandra Love Ball. We lost her at the beginning of the month. We funeralized her last week. She was my sassy, jazzy, vibrant cousin who kept the party going. So she truly, truly, Sandra, you truly will be missed tremendously, tremendously.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Also, shout out to Frankie Parker for an amazing show at City Winery last Monday. Super
Oh.
amazing. Thank you for all who are involved. Liz Toussaint, I know I better not start calling names, but here I go. Liz Toussaint, um, see, DT, Marquel
Yeah,
Jordan, um, um, what you call, who else? The girls, Nisi, Sultry, the band, The Gentlemen, everybody behind stage, everybody that did their part in making everything. And I know I'm forgetting somebody. Look at me, I'm scrolling through my phone right now. I'm scrolling through my phone because I know I'm forgetting somebody. But it was dope. Marshall
Hmm.
Knight, Arnell Newman from Solistic 360. Um, Leroyce Hawkins, y'all know Leroyce Hawkins, Chicago's finest. Check him out on
Chicago.
Chicago PD. He's dope. We had a good time. We had a really good time. Security, everyone, City Winery, thank y'all. All right. What's going on with you, good saints? Miss Simmons, Angel Simmons, everybody make some noise for Angel Simmons. Beep, 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 beep.
And the crowd goes wild. And the peasants bow.
Bow, peasant. Bow. Really.
Now, peasants.
Good evening. My name is Angel Simmons.
Yes,
I
it is.
Loves Great Design and the Message Media LLC, author of Target with Love, Surviving Narcissistic Abuse, and uh, Loves Great Design, weekly devotional on how to get your relationships together. Everybody, not just your boo. Um, you can find me at angelsimmons.com if you're looking for books and events and my business. You know, my business is on there. If you're looking for some background information, you want to see some modeling pictures, you want to see some videos, you want to see some clips of the show. The show is on there as well as mentality.
The
Another,
show is on the website.
yeah, the show been
Oh,
on
yeah.
the website. Show can go look. You can go look right now. You find some. Now I ain't updated it, but you can find quite a few episode links to the show and mentality on the website,
When is
as well as
mentality? Are y'all back started? Sorry, I hate to keep cutting.
we just dropped a flyer. Mr. Maurice of B-Side Productions just dropped a flyer yesterday, saying
Okay.
that we will be back very soon with the next season of Mentality with me and Chrissy Johnston. So that's coming up. We got a meeting coming up, and we'll be working on that. Other than that, it's a bunch of merch, t-shirts, hoodies, one pair of joggers. It's just one. Um, but quite a few things you can find on the web, on the web. And that's what I'm doing.
I thought we were supposed to be chatting about what you wanted me to take off your hands.
See, did nobody call me, text me, email me? You ain't send no carrier pigeons or nothing. You know what my life is doing. You got to send me a message. But yes, let's get to that because I got some yo size hoodies and t-shirts that you might be interested in. Because for the well endowed, cacique wearing women, we need. What are you rubbing?
Obviously, nothing well endowed.
You're a little too high up. That's
Yeah,
why.
it's
Nothing
all
well
Well,
endowed.
but a Lord.
rub the other direction. Right.
Oh,
Um,
oh, oh.
yes,
Can we talk
we need
about this?
sizes. Nope, we cannot.
Okay, I tried. I
I'm
tried.
probably gonna change that year.
Okay.
But we got something else to talk about when we get to this next person because there was a release and I saw a post and I'm excited to discuss what's in
Oh,
these boxes that is brother.
yeah. Hey. So the books is always existed.
What your name is?
My name is my name.
Name is my name. Oh, you fancy. Y'all got
My name is LeAnzar
microphones.
Stockley. Uh they call me Czar. Some people call me lover. Some people call me friend. Whatever you call me.
You can't even finish.
I can't even finish. I am LeAnzar Stockley, your certified relationality specialist, grief recovery method specialist, board certified mental health coach, and a plethora of other things. Minister extraordinaire,
Hmm.
um, and a whole bunch of other things. Author, I guess. I've written a couple of things. Relationality. It's a book that I think you all want to get. I don't know why I don't never have it out, Angel.
I don't either.
I don't know why. It just need to just be up. But relationality. Relationality. This book is hidden people's libraries again. So get your copy. Get your copy. Relationality, consciously aligning to our divine relational worth. This is hugely important right now, folks. This is hugely important right now for all of us because we need some relational cooperation around here.
Mm.
In the show, The Color Purple, Mister said, Mister Big Mister Daddy said when Oprah said, "Sophia home now." He said, "Good, because we need some stability around here.
That's what he said.
We need
That's
some
what he said.
stability around here." All right. So relational cooperation. So everybody can stop having to be every man for himself. And then relationship ready for those that are interested in just being ready for a relationship. Even if you ain't got it yet, but you want to make sure that your heart is ready when it comes so you don't push it away. And so that we're approaching it with the right dynamics that are necessary for relational living. And then what Angel was talking about, we're excited right now because we have finally, through Society 61 and another relationality experience has come. We have our conversation cards, folks. Let me get the light out of the. You can't see. The light is going to be in the way.
I can
But
see it
anyway,
say Soul
oh,
Circle.
is that better? Yeah, Soul Circle. This is the Friendship Reunion Edition. Soul Circle conversation cards, a relationality experience. And so, when you get with your folks, you can play it as a game, literally play it as a game, or you can just pull one card if you just want to have a conversation with somebody and you want a meaningful question, something beyond just the surface level. Whatever, you can pull one of the cards. Now, hopefully, when you pull the cards, you don't pull one of the crazy, silly cards,
Oh,
because those are in here too. But you can play this as a game with folks. It's 54 cards in here, and we just got these, and there's a couple of more that are actually coming as people order for them. So you won't have to wait. Just go to my website and you'll be able to grab them. I think they are right now. They're $22 introductory price for them. So um, just take your gatherings to the next level
can you
with
bring my
conversation
pack?
cards.
Can you bring my pack when you come back to the shack so I don't have to pay shipping and handling?
Just remind me.
Same.
Yes, I
Same.
shall. Please remind me
Same.
though. I shall.
Just put them in a suitcase tonight, and
Put them in there tonight. I
Don't
ain't
you
even
still
packed
have them
yet.
shoes that you wanted me to have too? Didn't you have that one pair of shoes left?
What size
the
was it?
red
I
ones,
probably do.
the
If
red
it
you gonna get the
depend,
red
Angel,
ones,
Angel be knowing.
the red ones,
it depend on what's.
the
Hmm.
ones that ain't my size, the red ones.
I think you said it was a 9.
I think I gotta check. I know I
Just
got something though. I got
make
some
sure you
shoes
just
down there.
bring your big suitcase, okay?
Oh shoot! Now doggone well Southwest now charges for
We
So
that,
not
good.
and I ain't flying
that ain't
Southwest.
until May 28th.
Well, I said that
Any
to
flights
say this
booked
part. To
before
say
May
this.
28th, you
Oh,
do
to
not
say
have
this
to pay
part. I ain't flying Southwest anyway.
that. Oh,
So I'm flying one of the cheaper ones that
wow.
charge
Look, wherever
Come
you
on,
got to go this
Spirit
year, you got to
Frontier.
May
Whatever I
28th
could
to book
squeeze in
that
my
flight.
carry-on,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or not even my carry-on, my personal item.
Personal item.
Look, I'm gonna be wearing smaller clothes. That's all I'm saying, because
I
they
know that's right.
they need to get
Yeah,
rolled up in that carry-on.
My
yeah.
mother just
Look at
puts all
these.
of
They
her
cool, y'all.
clothes on.
I heard that somebody
That's a
do
way
it.
to do it.
Yeah,
That is a way to
travel with
do
a
it.
whole bunch of outfits on your body. I would be
Hmm.
burnt up.
Do you have
Let
a
me.
box? Do you have a sample box open?
Oh, I do. Not in front of me, but I do
Do,
have a
Well, I
sample
guess
box.
we'll
do you
place
have? Do
play
you have?
next.
Is your assistant available?
I don't know. I can go get it though.
Terrible. I guess we'll play next time.
Right.
Yes, we'll play next time. So
Unless you want me to go get it, I can go
I
get it.
do. I really do want you to go get it.
All right, I'll go get it real quick.
Hello, Ashton Hall.
Hi, Ashton.
Do y'all know Ashton?
I do not. But hello, Ashton.
Welcome to the show. Our friend has stepped away.
Have you been able to? What are your plans for the summer, for the spring, as far as your vendoring and things like that? Should people be looking forward to seeing you out in these streets?
Not yet.
Not
Right
yet.
now, I'm focused on work because we are closing down our site, and my focus is my kids, my babies, and we are 2 months minus a day out for remaining program time. So that has been
Minus a day.
my priority.
So, did you want me to start now or wait till we're 30 days out to get your OnlyFans page going?
It's a valid question.
We could we could we could discuss that
Okay.
on the after show.
Mm, okay.
I wanted to hear the answer publicly.
Yeah, I did too.
All I'm showing it, I'm only showing my feet.
Okay.
Hey, feet folks is getting a
So,
lot of money. I'm hearing. I'm hearing.
You listen.
only showing my feet.
I done heard the feet folk is getting a lot of money.
Hey, it's I was feeling the spring weather. I got the white toes, got the white toes with the glitter sparkles.
Why
Oh,
your
you.
toes
Anyway,
white? Oh,
I
I'm
don't
about to
know.
say, ashy.
Just
Hmm.
that seems to be the color. Spring and summer. Us caramel girls bust out the white. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
But that's all I be showing.
okay, okay then. Okay then.
So it's interesting that you said that. Well, it's not interesting because this all it always comes together. Um, that you were mentioning, your book back in the library and things like that. Um, during a time, where there's so many things being pulled, so much of history, so much of culture, so much of truth being pulled from the libraries, diminishing um, not just Black history, not just Latino history or any other cultural history, but American history, right? Uh, history of civilization.
Hmm.
Um, it's wild to me. Um, it's sad. It's scary. Even other things that are being pulled in this whole DEI thing.
Hmm.
Things that are being dismissed and displaced because I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, it appears to be a threat um, to particular cultures or different people. I mean, particular people who hold specific titles. But what are you guys' thought on this? I saw all of this that I've said in this entirety. In addition to, I just saw this not too long before the show got started. Um, they erased Medgar Evers from the Arlington National Cemetery website. which featured a section honoring Black Americans who fought in the nation's wars. So if they erase Medgar Evers, ain't no telling how many more, they have erased that we don't know about. And I think why it stood out today, from what I understand, is that it would be Merle Edwards. It would be her birthday today, so that's why this stood out. I think with America, with the culture today. So like what my mind is blown with this because it's kind of like we're in the twilight zone to me. Just in my world, we're in the twilight zone, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting on somebody. Hey, psych,
Mm-hmm.
we're just playing. You cool? Everything's good. But that's not happening. That is not happening at all. What are you guys' thoughts on
I've been following a lot of the federal cuts, because it affected after school programming
that?
across the state. And we are looking at over 200 after school programs that are about to be shut down, which means no summer programming for thousands of inner city kids that need to be somewhere safe for the summer.
For sure.
Um, so that was already, you know, the first issue that we were trying to manage with our kids, our students, the schools that we're serving. But then this past week, there were other jobs that were cut. Um, the Civil Rights Office in Chicago,
Mm.
everybody was let go.
Wow.
And that's one of seven offices in the country. And I could not understand. Um, like you said, you waiting on somebody to jump out and yell psych. I don't even understand how these things are legal.
Right.
How are they legal? How is there no intervention in what's happening? Because even with the civil rights department or those offices, it wasn't just for um, racism or those cases. It was also protecting students on campus,
True.
sexual assault, students with disabilities getting the help that they needed on campus, on school campuses. It's so many things that are affected that's just not about racism,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't understand how it's illegal to get away with what's happening. It seems like it has been something every day. I saw somebody posted, it was a meme. She was running in the White House. She said she stole all the ink pens, so couldn't nothing get signed today. And it's like this is the reality. Every day, something has been signed or put in place since the inauguration, and it is not serving the public, the real public, us down here, boots on the ground, people that's working. I just don't understand where the intervention is.
I'm with you in your lack of understanding. I'm with you in your and in the twilight zone that Bryson talking about that she feels in regards to a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot. I don't know. I don't even know. There's some things that I look at in regards to these things, and I say there has to be something that I don't get. Because a lot of things just don't. I always try to give that benefit of doubt. It must be something that we're not seeing.
Right.
That
What am I
why this
missing?
has to happen or why this
Mhm.
is going this way. Because it's like I can't make sense of it. It feels very much like um the clock is I want to say it feels like the clock is being turned backwards, but what it also kind of feels like is more so as if the veil is being removed, meaning some of the freedoms that we were just even or some of the work, some of the development that happened seems like it was never really solid and something was just covering it up and now it's being uncovered. I say a lot of times when it comes to you when you think about slavery and all these other kind of things, it's like it really just shifted we weren't slaves the same way. Because if you ask me, you give me a living wage to do what I do, or you give me a wage to do what I do, but it still doesn't make a living. And so then it's almost like how much was there's a lot of so some things and again, I'm not educated enough in the political world and even in American history or even in Black history, to be honest with you, as we should be. But a lot of things feel as though it was a pacifier, and it seems like that binky done fell out our mouth.
Not the binky.
The
Pinky.
binky. That's what it seems like. Because it's the only thing that could be, because how can you just go back like this unless something just, oh, psych, you thought you had this, but it really was never really solid there. And so it feels like something has just been blank pulled off. But it's a scary time for a lot of people. I'm even sensing it with clients and stuff like that. It's a very people are are really going on and what they're seeing and the fear that's really there. And so I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just trying to make sure I hold on to myself and asking the people around me, hold on to yourselves, and not just hold on to yourself, because that's part of the problem. Hold on to one another, you know, throughout this, and what that really looks like. Like when I'm saying we need some relational cooperation around here, it's like we need some cooperation.
Stability.
Yeah.
And even
Mm.
going back to Bryson's original point with Medgar Evans, it's one thing to hide information. It's another thing to delete information as if it never happened.
Mm. Hmm.
And that is
Hmm.
the thing. That is the thing that is frightening. Like you said, what else have they deleted? So how many generations moving forward won't know a lot of these things? We already got AI, and I remember there was another video that I watched and I saved it, and I can't even tell you who it is, but it was something that she asked. Like she was asking AI who created something or who did something, and it was a piece about Black history, and it like said everything except the right answer. And then she kept asking questions to AI before it
The
actually,
prompter.
gave the right thing. And well, this was the right thing. Well, why didn't you tell me that the first time? Why would you go all around?
Wow.
Why would
Hmm.
you go all around that without telling me that? I was looking for conversation I was having at lunch today. We were talking about a movie, and I know there was a Black character in the movie, and I'm looking at the cast. I pulled up the movie, I'm looking at the cast. Where's the person that I'm talking about? You're showing me all these people that's not my color. And I know it was a sister in this movie who was a prom. If I said her name, everybody would know her. Why is she not on this cast list? And I had to go to another platform. There she is. Why didn't she come up the first time? She was
Interesting.
a major person in there.
What
But
movie is it?
Ocean's 8, and I was looking for Rihanna
Mm-hmm.
because Rihanna was a character in Ocean's 8. And whatever platform I was on, it was showing me everybody except Rihanna. She was the
Hmm.
hacker in the movie. You know,
Interesting.
she was one of the people that when they divided up money at the end, she got money. And I'm like, it's Rihanna. How do you not put her on there? Well, how many movies have we watched? Um, looking at them and they're showing the cast, and it's like, I know Bernie Mac in this movie. Why he not listed on with these other
Mm.
people? It's interesting. And then you got people that's telling you, everything is not about race, but it is. But it is. Because why is this not happening? Why did she speak to you first? Why was your order taken? Why do I not have water at my table? Do you remember the conversation we had with them Carrot Toss people in
Which
trying
one?
to point out that
Oh,
conversation, in trying to
yeah,
point out um, the statement about not seeing color?
yeah.
And I was very adamant. You have to see color because there's always going to be something underlying that you're going to miss if you don't see color. When everybody at the table is served and their order is taken, and I'm the only Black woman sitting here and my order has not been taken,
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see color. You didn't see color because they saw color because they ignored me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we're all riding somewhere, and we're following each other to the meeting or whatever, and LeAnzar gets pulled over because he drive fast, because he do, and I'm gonna pull over behind him. Somebody needs to pull over behind him. You know, somebody
Mm-hmm.
needs to pull over in front of him and pay attention to what's going on with the police because this is a black man. He light skinned, but he's still a black man, right? We need
Mm-hmm.
to pay attention. You know, this is where we need to see color, okay? Because we know there might be some mistreatment. It might be some blatant racism, and somebody else needs to be a witness to it.
Mm-hmm.
When I sat in that lobby waiting on my hotel room that was not ready, but everybody else's was. Everybody else's room was ready, and I've been waiting an hour and a half, and it's midnight. Are you kidding me? And you just go to your room because you did. Why am I still down here? And I'm the only one that's my color.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to see color in these moments. You know, so we've seen a lot of ignoring, you know, of
Mhm.
needs in regards to color. But now we're seeing blatant, intentional erasing
Mm.
of facts and information and history. And that is terrifying.
Wow.
The deliberate, I think for me is the I can't even get the word out because it's so I don't know, it's wild to me. But the deliberate act of canceling the culture is
Mm.
crazy.
Hey, Sean.
It honestly feels like some sort of retaliation or uprising from a group of people who feel they own rights. They own the rights to the land, country, idea they never really had to begin with. And we give these people power when we allow them to get away with injustices.
Because there's no intervening. There's nobody that's intercepting. That's the word I was really trying to think of. Where is
Mm.
the intercepting of what's happening? When there's a play, when there's a wrong play, you call an audible and there's an interception. And I'm speaking football like I know what I'm talking about.
Because
Where,
you said it real good. I was like,
where
oh
at? But it's not happening. Where's the flag on the play? Okay, because nobody's calling it out. And that's what I don't understand. How are we this far into the year watching all of what's happened and it's still happening every day?
And it's allowed to. It's allowed to be happening. See, and I again, it's pieces of it. I can't speak intellectually about the behind the scenes of what's really going on, or the business aspect to it. I can only speak about what it feels like, and it's really impacting us in just a huge way. But I look at a lot of this stuff, and I was actually saying in a conversation, this is why to me it's really important that we don't just talk about being together, but that we actually be together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like you look at, I think we just did the whole, what was it, a no spending day, the boycott thing, but it's like everything feels so scattered, you know. And I think that again, my perspective on a lot of things is we take these moves that are not, okay, how can I say this, because I don't want to I don't want to lose my black card, but because it's not just about black people, it's humanity, honestly. um I said, some years ago when there was like the big tragedies happen, and then we all come together, and I said this a while ago, and people just, it's almost as if I'm saying something doom or gloom, but it's like, if we would stay together, we wouldn't have to keep coming together. And so when we start to live these principles, or live this, not just politically or religiously, but in our actual relationships with each other, it's hard to divide teams that never divide. Like if we actually really truly come together collectively or be together collectively as a one another, then these things just couldn't happen in this way. But it just feels like there's so much scattering, um, so much individualism, so many. Well, I'm just gonna do this. Well, I'm just gonna worry about this in my house, or I'm just gonna. And again, I get it, because we can't control the pieces of outside of us, but it does not even present a unified front. Do you know what I mean? We look at through even just with the election, we see how it's always been division, right? There's always somebody voted for and somebody not. But it's like the way that this is divided these days, it looks like there's the division and then there's the division. So it's like how do we meet those divisions?
Uh-oh. He frozen. Why he look like he
Bad
throwing
connection
out
was it
gang
just me?
signs?
He's definitely
Even in
gangbang.
our micro circles, there's just huge connections. Was that just my thing, or is it y'all's too?
You froze and you was in the middle of throwing up gang signs. And that
Ain't you from the west side?
right.
Burbs.
West side
What's
adjacent.
burbs?
West side.
Adjacent.
West
West
side
side.
adjacent.
That's dope. Yeah, but I mean, to your point, it's how do we fuss and complain when we're not doing our part, but at the same time, it still ain't fair.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, it's not. It's like it's both and. It's like It's the both and. And it's like, what is our part? It's like the actual. What is the doing our part? Part of the doing our part is staying together. Having that unified front. But there ain't no way we can justify it. Ain't no way we can justify it. It still ain't right. It ain't. It ain't. It's not fair. Um, it's an injustice. And it's like, how do we meet those? How do we meet these injustices with actual presence, true presence, not just a complaint, but true presence? How do we meet these? Who? Maybe the interception is a group of people that refuse to do something different. But I don't. Again, I don't know because I ain't the king. I don't know how to rally. I've always been horrible at enlisting. You know what I mean, like enlisting the support or enlisting, rallying people to kind of do things, and then what can be done, because like you said, some things you'd be looking at is like, is this even legal? Are these things even legal to do? But it seems
And the
like that's
people
out the
that would
window.
know it, is the Congress and the Senate, and the legislators that are sitting in these sessions that are approving or not approving these things. These are the folks that know if it's legal or not legal.
Yeah, and I've heard many of them say some things aren't even legal, so they just gonna fight it in court. But
And who gets hurt in the meantime? And how long do that take?
mm,
And why they still living in that White House? It's a lot of questions that need
how do you
answers
think?
at
Yeah,
this point.
how do you think this is impacting us? All of these things, and even this whole within this past 3 months in this setback. How do you think that this is affecting us?
I think there's a mental exhaustion
Mm,
that has settled in with a lot of people. I mean, in the middle of work life balance and family and normal, you know, post winter blues and seasonal depression and everything else that folks are dealing with, and trying to plan for the summer and get your body together when it's going to look like it did last summer anyway. In the middle of all of that, it's this mental exhaustion that is heavy on people because of the fear. And I really think it's the fear that's guiding that. Because you don't know what it's going to be the next day.
mm,
And my dear friend, KJ, if you're watching, I'm talking about you. But we were talking about how this feels like when the pandemic started. And the day we
mm.
were having a conversation, it was March 13th. And that was 5 years ago that day when
Wow.
they said go home and you'll be back in 2 weeks. And it was 2 years. But this is like that feeling
Another
all
form
over
of it, though.
again, where you
Hmm.
don't know what's happening, and every day is something different. Every day there's, more thousands of people. Every day it's, a new vaccine. Every day is more jobs that, have laid off people, or businesses that closed and it never came back. So many um, people lost a lot. Not just other people, but lost their livelihoods, lost their business, lost their dreams. And it feels like that time, that tension, that's the tension that I'm sensing when we started that pandemic. Because we went home to work from home and it was like, is this good or not? What's
Hmm.
happening? Are we going back tomorrow? Are we going back next week? Are we going back next month? Okay, it's been 3 months. Okay, now we gotta get the vaccine. We said we wasn't getting it. It was so much
Right.
that happened during that time, and it feels like that all over again. Like
Hmm.
it's really time to nest and settle in, and redecorate your house and put yourself on a budget and stop buying so much stuff because you might be in the house.
Hmm. We're definitely in a shift that, like, because I don't think the pandemic was the end of anything. Like, I don't.
I think it was the beginning.
All of that was the beginning of something, like, or another shift in, just a shift in the universe. Because again, and we see it in the health, physical health, mental health, all those other kind of things. But even now, with what we're seeing with history repeating or seemingly repeating itself in some things, um, and just the changes in I'm not esoteric enough or woo enough to know all of the stars aligned, this kind of thing and that. But it's like there is a shift. There's a huge shift that is taking place, and we've been in it. There was a breath of fresh air that came at the end of the pandemic piece, but it was like, but we're not out of it. You
You
know,
know what?
we're not
I
out of the
think
clear.
it's I think it's because we didn't learn the lesson. And when you don't learn the lesson, you have to take the test again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never learn the
We
lesson.
did not we
We'll
did not
never
come together.
class the lesson as a class. We'll never do that.
Like you said, if we stayed together, we wouldn't have to come together. We did not come together. We did not stay together. We didn't
What's
learn
the
anything
problem?
from social isolation and mental health trauma and the suicide numbers going up. We didn't learn anything from that because now we're divided again.
Why do y'all think? Why don't we? Like you said, Bryce, we'll never. What is the problem?
That's no. You know what? That's a real question, though. It don't have to be politically correct. It don't have to be professional. What is the problem? And you probably left out some key words when you asked that, because I
Yeah,
might have added a couple extra words.
What
yeah.
the is your problem?
What's up? Like, why don't we? There's the because it feels sometimes it's hard to hold faith in your people, in people, in humanity, and then even in our cultures,
In order to
different
hold it,
cultures.
you had to have it in the first place.
Yeah, I guess you have to have it in the first place. It's like, but it's almost like it's I hear a lot of the individualism that ends up coming in people, and we justify it through every means. Um, but I don't. Why do we think it's not working? And I don't know, y'all, because I see everything. I see it more expanded sometimes, but it's like the languaging is very individualistic. Now we're saying out of our mouth we have to come together. We're saying out of our when we're trying to win an election, when we're trying to change, we're saying we have to come together. But the individualism that is flowing through our veins at this point almost keeps us from that very thing. It's almost like we're saying we need to be a unit, but yet everybody wants to feel like put up their boundaries just to stay in their bubble. And so the very thing that's needed to heal the land is the very thing people are saying I need to heal myself alone in isolation, instead of a collective coming together saying, yeah, you need this, you need this, you need this, let's do this together. Everybody's going to their corners in the name of, well, let's just sit and wait and watch, or wait for somebody else to step up and do something, or I just got to go love myself. Or it's almost as if we look at the issues, we look at the nature of things, And for some reason, we're still not seeing how we end up right here. And it's because we don't really embrace what I kind of sense of. It's like our relationality is kind of off, rightfully so, because it's not a blame to people. I understand everybody feels unsafe, but if we feel unsafe and now we need every single space to feel safe before we do anything, we're never going to come out of that lack of safety. Because with the equal measure of I need safe space, there has to be brave movement and brave intention. Because if it's not happening, I'm just waiting till I feel safe. And as long as I'm waiting till I feel safe, I'm standing here waiting on something outside of me to happen. That's relationally, it's in our society right now. It's in, and everybody's in their own thing, doing their own thing with an individualistic mentality instead of with the aim that interdependence has always been the answer. But the messaging that we get is go do it yourself. Even if we're not saying that out of our mouth, that's
Get
the messaging
somebody
that it
else
seems
to
like.
do it.
It's like, yeah, it's like get somebody else to do it. Or I'll do it once somebody else stands up and does it. Or I'll do when I see this, and it's like, and everybody's in waiting. And again, like I said, this is across the board. I see it everywhere. It's almost like everybody's in waiting. Um, and so there's no coming together. I don't understand either. I don't understand why pandemic did we walk, and there are some people, this is not saying everybody, but why didn't we walk away seeing how important our relationships are? Do you know what you heard more about? The amount of people that decided they weren't with the right person.
Oh, that was it.
The
That
right,
was
the people that what?
The amount of people was like, oh, I realized during the pandemic that we weren't good together.
because they
We
were
weren't
stuck
the
in
right
the
people together.
house.
We hear more, yeah, because we were stuck with each other, having to see each other every day, all day. I um was kind of looking and I wanted to ask AI, but it couldn't give me no good answer. It couldn't give me no good answer.
I wonder
Is there
why.
more messaging in our society that creates hypervigilance than that teaches us the skills that we actually really need? What skills do we need to learn as, let's say, for instance, an African American community that actually brings us together so that when we do things, it's more impactful? What's not saying we never had it, because obviously we've been done a lot, like our ancestors and whatever have done a lot. But what is it? What was Martin Luther King talking about when he said, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord"? He ain't just talking about Jesus splitting the sky and taking folks to heaven. What is this? I've been to the mountaintop. That everybody in those crowds was yelling and in agreement and assent to his speech, but not in alignment to his speech. I agree with what you're saying, but why are we missing the alignment? Or where are we missing the alignment? Or are we not missing it at all? And it's just the way it's supposed to go.
I think so many of our people are misinformed. Our people don't do the research. They don't educate. Um, and as I was thinking of this, I'm like, you're gonna sound like Jesse Jackson, but we need education, we need dedication, we need unification, right?
Whoa.
We need communication, right? But those are very true. But that's very much him, like in the '70s and the '80s. But for
Mm-hmm,
real,
mm-hmm.
but for
The
real,
only thing they did was gentrification.
gentrification,
And we need cooperation
huh?
and collaboration.
And maybe we'll have a celebration.
Because the problem, I think the issue with some millennials, but definitely after millennials, people are so caught up on social media and what social media has to say. Now, meanwhile, thank you for tuning in to the show. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But however, people are so caught up in just the bites, the clips that they hear. And oh, the president gave us this money before, he ran the bag up. He was good for the economy. Or did he? Or did he?
Mm-hmm.
Did the money
Mm-hmm.
really come from him?
Right,
Like,
right,
do your research.
right.
Did you even vote? And if you did vote, who did you vote for and why? And if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't vote, why? You know
Why?
what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And if you did vote, how's it looking for you?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be. I feel like in this day and age, especially the younger crowd, they lack so much education. And I don't know, maybe you blame us, maybe you blame the school, maybe you blame on the stuff that's been removed of this from the school. But there's some type of break in action where the young folks, maybe 35 and under, 30 and under, I feel like they just don't take it seriously. And
Mm-hmm.
they're the boy. I feel like they're the voice of our community. They're the ones, growing up. We old now, y'all. But these youngins, they got to do it. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna have Social Security in about 10 years.
Child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sean says, but the question is, how do we educate ourselves when we don't even know the entire truth about our people? Like y'all talked about earlier, there's so much information out there
It's
that
being
is
omitted.
omitted and hidden from us, and it will always be like that. I mean, we'll never have our hands on everything, just never, unfortunately. But what we do have, what we do know, talking to our elders, reading, taking trips to the library or Googling what we can find or talking to our parents, aunties, uncles, grandparents, because whatever, we have to do the work. We have to do the work.
A lot of people don't even know what questions to ask. We've been
Yeah.
we've been spoon fed history for generations, and we're just now finding that somebody really just didn't sit on the bus that day. It's like we're finding out truths that we had no idea. We didn't even know to look for that. Why would I know to look for that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like how many other stories were manufactured on behalf of the cause, um, for good intents and purposes, but how much of a disservice does it do to find out at 40 whatever that the story you thought was the story wasn't the story. So when you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what questions to ask, you just make the assumption that you have the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if it's like that, then that's the same thing with religion, right? And Christianity. We only
Mm-hmm.
have this
Absolutely.
this particular portion in the Bible, and we count on our, theologians and our scholars to provide, whatever deeds and stuff like that. I mean, well, if that's the case, then we're just doomed all the way across the board.
And then told in that one, don't ask questions.
Don't
Oh,
ask no questions. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
But and there's something, and I know this is far fetched. It's like there is a truth we know. We all know it. We feel it. Do you know what I mean? It's like we don't have all of the, and I think that, and again, it's like to me, I think that some things goes to when I don't have the book, when I don't have the books, what's the word written on my heart in some of these things, and how do I use that? And I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this is just a thought. It's like, how do I use that to advance all of this? Because again, without alignment in any of these things, it's almost like it feels like we're just walking in a circle. We're just walking in circles, so to speak. It's kind of like chasing our tail. There's because I agree to it, it's like there's elements that are missing. There's pieces that we don't know. There's pieces we always won't know. There's areas where and we're designed to just believe stuff. That's why some things we were told it and we just kind of went along with it because like, hey, this is the information that's available to us.
especially
But
our baby boomers. That's what they do.
oh yeah,
It's what they said now.
it's what
The
they.
doctor,
Yep,
the doctor said.
yep, yep, yep. And we
Mm,
still ain't figured out who they are though. You know what I
who's
mean?
they?
They
Right.
we've been looking for they
them,
forever.
them.
But it's some things that we do know. It's like this doesn't feel right, and I need to make certain alignments in whatever way I possibly can. But I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. I think a lot of people are processing a lot of different thoughts in regards to what we're facing, what we're what we're navigating through, what we're going through. Um, my personal aim has been to align as much with integrity as I possibly can. I do believe that without the church would say it this way: without holiness, no man shall see God. Right, and that word "see" means perceive. And so I
Mm-hmm.
feel like alignment to me, let me align the best I can to what I sense love is, what I sense integrity is, the information that I do have, the knowledge that I do have. Let me actually start not just agreeing with it, but aligning to it, really truly living it out. And I'm hoping that those who are smarter than me, who we can go sit down with and say, can you really tell me what does this mean with this? How does this go with that? How does this attach to this? And why can this happen in our government? Or why can't this happen? Or what would happen if this, because it's little simple stuff that we do. I sit down looking, you see these things and they say all of the billionaires paid their fair share, we could end poverty. How? Show me that. Because in ignorance, I don't, maybe it's something I don't know. If we actually just made everybody not poor, oh, well, that's going to throw off the economy. Oh, okay. Because, to somebody that's poor, it's like, just make everybody not poor. But that throws off stuff. It throws off something in our systems that we've created. And sometimes I start to question, are the systems the problem?
The class systems, yeah.
Like, so we supposed to learn and whatever, and to fit, how do we fit into the system? So the system is greater than the people, than the souls. The systems are greater than the souls, because a
Always,
lot of the system is what's causing the sickness to the soul.
always
Oh,
that.
see, now,
But maybe it's something I don't see, Bryson. I y'all know I'm got 40-year-old eyes. I can't see it as clear as I used to.
well, y'all see these spectacles.
I think the beginning of that alignment has to start with actually feeling something. You're
Yeah, because
talking
a lot
about
of us are
feeling
anesthetized
and
and just like I
sensing.
just don't even. Yeah.
Most people have numbed themselves to discord and disruptions. I'm just do me. I'm do me. I'm
Yeah.
take care of my
And
house,
it,
me and mine. I'm just gonna go to work, mind my business, drink my water, whatever. And they're not actively engaging in anything that's going on to the
and I can't
degree of
say I blame them, because it's these things that they've
ignoring
experienced have
it.
hurt. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't say I blame them, but it don't heal us.
Yeah, so they
Mute.
ignore it.
Oh,
They dismiss it um, unless it comes to their door. That's your business. That's politics. I
mm,
ain't getting into. I don't talk about politics. No, I think you should, because your
unless it
job
comes to
is
my
on
door.
the list. Your job is on the list of what we're talking about right now. Then you want to get active.
Mm.
When it's bothering you. We have in talking to parents and teachers and staff and things that's going on regarding these cuts. Some have no conversation. There's some that well, what are you all going to do? How does that affect you? They're actually asking the questions, but really it's how's this affecting the school? How's this affecting the community? How's this going to affect your neighborhood when you got a block full of kids that have no place to be in the summer in Chicago? Because
Mm.
we know what kids do when they have no place to be. We also know what happens. We are
Yes, we do. Oh,
wow. We also know what kids do when they don't have a safe place to go, and that is, as mental health professionals, that's our concern. Where are these kids going to go when they're no longer safe and they're stuck at home with abusers? When they're stuck at home with, you know, dysfunctional families? When they're stuck at home learning from Pookie um, instead of Mr. Peterson, because Pookie is at the crib and he's going to teach you, how to make some money. It's too many things and too many chips that people aren't paying attention to. Right now, it don't affect you and your kids because you got somewhere to take them. That's fine. What about your block? What about the value of your property?
Hmm.
What about your insurance rates when something happens to your car? It's too many. It's too many things. And I think about these variables. Think about the pandemic. Who looted? What neighborhoods were affected when stores ended up getting burned down and broken into, and cars? And that's your hood. Where you gonna shop when you got groups of kids in front of the building doing what they should not be doing? And it's just unfortunate to even think about or even have to go that far. But we know our communities, and we know what happens when you don't have a place for people to go to do something positive.
You think we
Right.
miss the connect? Do you think we miss a fundamental strand of connection that connects all of us?
Yes.
And so then it's that I don't do anything until it comes to my door, or
Until it comes to my doorstep, that's your business. That's your problem. It's somebody else's issue, and they don't understand the threads that connect all of us.
mm, wow. Mm.
And that's all I got to say.
I just know that I don't want to be that. Like I'm not thinking just in terms of perfection. I'm not going to go out and become, you know, I don't see it in my cards to go out and become the next Martin Luther King or nothing like that or whatever. But I know I don't want to be. I don't ever want to look at us as if we're not connected because I'm looking at I see hearing what all of what you just said, hearing even Brysen having to bring this topic to the table. I don't want to contribute to that kind of pain. It's like like what has to happen in us to say, okay, I might not go run for Congress, but how do I embody being a part of what helps the world breathe and not what
Mm.
knocks the wind out of it? And I can't do that either just by going into my own isolation, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I've always, I don't say always, but in my enlightening days, I try to live in a way that does no harm. You know, whether that be immediate relationships, significant relationships, friendships. When I remember saying to some of my friends, I was like, the things that I do behind the scenes that people never would see me do, you would never know I do. But it's like, oh yeah, I'm working on something because my mind is going over here, and I'm working on. Never said anything to anybody, but I'm trying to deal with this part of me that would otherwise have me out of control. Because if I'm out of control, it's going to ruin my relationships. And so it's like it's the unspoken or unseen work that we do internally. You know, I and I'm sure a lot of people do that. But it's like I want to be a part of what helps us breathe, and I'm just listening for my way. I'm listening for my name and how to do that. So mhm. That's why I created these soul circle cards.
And we go. Let's check out these soul circle
No,
cards.
but
And
no, like seriously though, I said to somebody, I am doing my part that I know to do, that I hear until I hear something different. I'm trying to
yeah,
do my part with why relationality? Why somebody asked me one time why a friendship retreat? Why would I say because I'm trying to do my part. I got sense enough to know that we're not depressed just because whatever. We're not filled with all this anxiety just because that it's just your genes. We're not having epidemics of loneliness just because you just have a lower temperament and you don't know how to love yourself. No, this is a lie. This is not right. This ain't right. And so I'm trying to do my part to help us do our part, to be built up in love, so that our relationships are not just these surface transactional things, to where we don't, like you said, Angel, feel nothing. I don't feel it because there's nothing intimate happening. Nobody's actually speaking to my heart. Nine times out of 10, the relationships we have, you have a relationship with that person's personality, but don't know their heart.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what aches them, what makes them ache. Don't know what they really believe about certain things. So then we don't know how to truly see. And then we have this deep fundamental need as humans to be seen, known, loved, heard, and to have rest in our life, in our relationships. So I'm trying to do my part to the best of why we write these books, Angels. It's trying to do our part, because we
We're
ain't
doing
making
our part.
riches. We ain't getting rich from it.
Show ain't.
So that would be nice.
AngelSimmons.com.
That would that would be nice. You know,
Stockley.com. You know.
yeah.
But and I also believe that this show is us doing our part, because these conversations are vital. They are intimate. They are vulnerable. They are awakening and enlightening and inspiring. And hopefully, you take what you hear from these conversations back and you have conversations of your own. And the more
Right.
conversations that we're having, the more information, is being circulated.
Mm,
Maybe more people will feel things
yeah.
based on the conversations.
Wow.
That's how we do our part. That's how you do your part as listeners and audience members. You take the conversations back and you have them.
Yeah.
True that. True that. True that, ladies and gentlemen, do your part. Um,
To be built
and
up
if you're
in
not
love.
sure what your part is, seek, do some soul searching,
Hey, Sir Isaac.
because we need each other.
Amen.
Interdependence is super real right now. We need it more than ever, I think. I mean, at least in my lifetime.
That's our design, friend. It's our design.
That's love's greatest design.
Come on,
It
somebody.
is. And we are fighting tooth and nail to stay individualistic. I'm telling you, like I don't mean no harm when I be saying all of this self-love talk and all this other stuff is not actually healing us. It's not that self-love isn't a thing to heal, but I'm saying the way that it's falling on our ears, it's creating this self-help world. I'm seeing it in the mental health. I'm seeing it in spirituality. I'm seeing it and it's such a thin line that we're confusing wisdom with fear,
It's another
or
boundary.
separation. Yet, even the boundaries conversation, it's like every time I'm hearing somebody talk about boundaries, it's very rarely that I hear somebody speak about it in a way that says boundaries should ultimately invite healthy relating.
Hmm.
It's mostly everything we see is talked about in a way of how to protect yourself, how to separate yourself, how to not be. And it's like, where are we learning how to do?
How to open up.
Where is the relational wisdom? Interdependence, Bryson. You're right. That's our aim. That's our goal. But we've just, I'm independent. I can speak for myself. I am grieved to hell when I look at how, and I've really been looking at it this past month or so, over the past couple of months, how totally self-reliant I am.
Mm,
It grieves the hell out of me in a world with 8 billion people. Why am I walking around here thinking that I have to always hold my own self up?
because I hate asking for help.
Why do we hate that? Do you
And
see what I'm
why
saying? It's
is
like,
that my
this
problem?
is ridiculous.
And we know better. And
And
they
we,
don't make us like it no more. I won't even call people I want to talk to. And
because you don't
I
make me a
rarely
bother.
want to talk to anybody.
My
Hey,
brother said to me, I said, I don't really, he said something about something we were talking about. He said, "You didn't tell me you had this, blah blah blah." And I said, we saw my phone calls and a whole bunch of stuff. And I said, I almost don't ever call him. But I said, you can look at the amount of times that a call goes out of my phone. And I said, there's also this part of me that wants to stay out of the way. And so it's like I listen for my name. And he says, no, he says, some of that is you don't want the rejection. And I was like, why don't you mind your business?
Ain't nobody asked you.
Ain't nobody asked you. But he was right. Those I do want to not be in people's way,
and mine is just they won't do it.
But and so what does that develop after a while? See, this is what I'm saying. Like even this whole thing with being hyper self-reliant or overly self-reliant or whatever, it came from somewhere. It came from moments where I reached and nobody did, or nobody met that need, or no one met that, or if they did, aimed and which is still not meeting the need. If they did, they held it over your head, or it came with a price tag. It wasn't just reciprocity.
So I'm not going to ask for help
anymore. So then we don't ask for help. But I don't want that in me. It's like I'm not liking it. So it's like this is bringing me to have different conversations. It's bringing me to have more, bring the quality to these friendships, these relationships, so that I can see this stuff happen in my house, in my neighborhood, in my community, in my politics, in my religions, in my world, happen in that way. Because it's almost as if we're waiting for it to happen on a government level. We're waiting for somebody to create a system for us to get in again, when God already created the system. And it's what Brysen just said was interdependence. He already created the system. And everything else that we're waiting on is these individualistic systems that's stressing us the hell out.
Feel your help now, Reverend. Feel your help.
I'm feeling my help.
Feel your help now.
It's like, but if there's going to be interdependence, this is why I said we need some stability around here. Yeah. We need the relational cooperation, because the reason that you feel like you can't ask somebody for help isn't just because you just super prideful by yourself. Somewhere that came from somewhere.
Came from not being helped.
That resonates with the hurt and the pain and the level of disappointment. Yeah.
Don't you? And I can't even get my hands right. Disappointment turns into depression. And other things that start with D.
I can't even get my hands to sit right.
That's it. That's it.
Let's pull ourselves out of this rut. At least for the evening. Because I don't want us to go to bed with this on our soul like that. At least for me, because I was having some crazy dreams last night.
I was
like, So let's check out.
Was you on a white horse with a javelin?
Was that your dream?
Were you there? Were you there?
You know I'm a prophet. No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you is.
I told y'all I carry y'all in my spirit. I carry y'all in my heart, in my communion with the Lord.
And yet.
Ain't
heard from you.
Because I carry you in here. I'm tired of hearing you. I'm tired of talking to you.
Let's check out a couple of these soul circle cards.
Yes.
So for those of you who are late, who are just chiming in, Society 61, LeAnzar Stockley has created these amazing soul circle cards as a way of actually doing everything that we just got through talking
beautifully
about.
Done.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Conversation cards, connection cards, communication cards.
And these ones is just the friendship edition, the friendship reunion edition. I might do some other ones. I'm almost kind of thinking I should just leave it at this one. But yeah, how do you want to do it?
When you said that, I thought that meant it was going to be a relationship issue. Maybe
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought about doing something for like family reunion, but I couldn't think of one for like a couple or whatever. And these days we have polyamorous relationships, so it's like, what would you call that? My others.
You just call it the lovers edition.
Lovers
There
and
you go.
look at
There
you.
you go.
You can have it for free, friend. You can have it
Lovers
for
and
free.
friends.
And you should
Oh,
get your cards for free, friend.
lovers and
Thank you, Angel.
extra
You always sweet.
lovers.
Can you see my finger pointing at where?
How you
There
want
it
to do
goes.
it? You want to just pick a different, or should I explain some of it a little bit?
Not you said pick a card like I'm sitting in
Pick
front
a
of you.
card, any card, pick a card, any card.
Pick a card, any card. There's different categories. So like the way that you can really do this, honestly, there's friendship philosophy cards, right? Okay, so those are the cards where you're going to really kind of hear what your friends really believe about friendship, what they believe
Okay.
friendship is, what is the wisdom for friendship, and things like that. Then you got connection cards. This is where you're probably telling your stories. You're probably telling things that you're revealing a little bit about yourself in the midst of that.
Okay.
So it's like your heart can be heard, can be seen, can be known. And then we have challenge cards. These are kind of like your silly cards, funny cards, things that you're going to do together. It can be anything in there. Ain't no telling what you're going to pull when you pull one of them cards. All right.
Okay.
It might tell you to get naked. Or you might choose to get naked. Because actually, the way a lot of these
With your
are,
friends? No.
well, hey, listen. If you can't get naked with your friends,
Oh,
I
huh?
ain't say have sex with them. I ain't say have sex with them. I
Huh?
just
Huh?
and then there's the relational echoes. And so like these are cards, kind of you could think about it in some sense where you're paying tribute to your friendships. You might get something. I don't really want to kind of say what they are, but it might be raise a toast to your friends or something, moments of gratitude or something in there. And so yeah, so those are, and then you got your last two cards that are usually for the end. You can play with them or not, depending on how you've done your gathering. But these are called Soul Circle Seal cards, and they're usually something where you can create a ritual or a time to return to something that you all decided as a group of people to do this. So, how you want? Do you want to just pick a card, or do you want me to go to a category? And what you think?
Oh, she picking a card.
That one right there.
That one, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Y'all
Thank
see
you.
how our cameras work?
Yeah.
This AI.
She picked the connection card.
Oh, of
Can
course.
you read it? Are you able to read? Hold on, let me.
No, you
No.
got to read it. It's too bright. It's too bright.
Wait, stay right there. What's a small act of care a friend could offer that would mean the most to you? Uh, for me, probably consistency and intention.
Mm, Now, this is what you get to do when you play in this game. Why is that important to you?
Is that on the directions?
Yes, it's a conversation card, so you get to talk. Like, what? Well, why is that important to you, my friend? You don't have to do that though. Like, you don't have to do that. But that's just an example of how you make the game, how you make the whole thing. You can, how I should say, depending on how the person answers, it's very dynamic. So it's like you can do however you really want to make it as in depth or meaningful to you. If somebody asks, gives a question, Bryson says that consistency is important to me. We can go on to the next person. But if our gathering is of such that night, this time, or when we're playing this, it's like interesting. I never knew that about you. Why is that important? Or what is it
Because we
about
should leave
consistency?
there with insight.
And we should leave you feeling heard and known in a way that you
Hmm.
didn't feel known before.
All of us. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Angel, your turn.
Thank you. You picked a connection card too. Pick a
Of
different one.
course I did.
Or do you want that one? You
Of
want
course
this
I
one?
did. Sure. I know.
Wait, how you picked the same? You picked the same one Bryson picked.
Now what now?
What?
You
I
started beating
I
around
didn't
me.
shuffle the deck.
Yellow.
Right. Let me shuffle. Because you picked the same one Bryson picked. And you were gonna get the same answer Bryson gave. And
No, I wasn't. I would have a different answer. But anyway,
right.
that was my
Oh,
card.
darn it. Y'all know I'm a
Yeah.
little autistic and when I'm done turned upside down. Pick a card.
Come on. Metaphysically,
Look at that. Oh, thanks, Angel. You've picked a friendship philosophy card. Let's see. Okay, so you got to read that first. The quote.
A single rose can be my garden. A single friend, my world. By Led somebody.
Oh,
Leo
oh,
somebody.
okay. We don't.
Libushkalakjia.
What inspires you most about human connection?
That's a good one.
The work it takes to repair it and keep it healthy.
Ooh.
It's a philosophy card. I mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, ooh,
it's the work.
ooh.
The work it takes.
Wow, that inspires you to do the work. Ooh,
And what's my follow-up question?
that was it. That inspires you to do the work. That inspires.
It
That inspires
does.
you.
Because even when you're talking, I know this is not the lovers edition, but if this were the lovers edition with that same question in it, my philosophy for the one is the one that's willing to do the work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I believe the same thing in friendship. It takes work. I think it takes more work to be a friend than it takes to be a lover.
Ooh,
Because we will dismiss friends for grievances that we will forgive lovers for repeatedly.
ooh, ooh. You trying to say people have been cheated on multiple times, but then that one time that friend didn't show up for
One
that game,
time,
you done
and don't
got
you
rid
ever
of.
step foot in my house again. Because I expect more from you. And why is that?
Right. All right, y'all. What card y'all want me to take? Y'all want me to take because y'all picked the other two. I just want to show a relational
I'm
echo
going to pick your card.
or a challenge card. I only got two right here. So.
All right, I shuffled
All
the deck.
right. Okay, this one is a challenge card, and this is an easy one. It just says, take a group selfie and come up with a fun caption.
Oh, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It was your face. I
Was
don't
it my
even. Angel always, Angel always on here looking sexy.
Mm. And so then we would come up with a fun caption for it. And I can't think of one right now. Um,
Is this what interdependence looks like? What
oh,
what
oh, I thought that
interdependence?
was the caption.
No,
Right.
that is. No, that
Oh,
is.
okay.
What interdependence looks like?
Yeah. The face of interdependence. Because
That's
you said it
it.
was my face for you.
Face
And
it.
you said she over there looking sexy. The face of inter. Ew.
Oh, my. Why you got to move? You got to.
Sean said he took a dance class and they say some of the basics you got to be able to do a jack. I think it's called a jack.
Like Jack,
I
get
like
back your
it.
Is it
body,
called a
like
jack?
from back in the day.
Jack? Some kind of jack. Yeah. And then this is a relational echo card. So this one would just be
Share one word to describe the last person who spoke.
yep, and that's just a relational echo card. It has a little quote on it or something like that. So
I like this.
so
This
then
is
you would just go,
excellently. You
yeah,
did
so
an
then you would
excellent
just go
job.
and describe the last person that spoke and whatever. So the aim is, and even the way the questions are, it can go anywhere. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like it's something where it's not like a yes or no answer. They're open-ended questions, and you and whatever group of your friends, regardless of the level of intimacy that group currently has, it's endless. At least I think it's pretty much endless as to where you can actually take this. Even with some of the challenge cards, that was an easy one. Do a selfie and and come up with a caption.
Was
There's
that
some
your
on there
caption,
like
Sir Isaac?
What'd he say?
Okay, it's a caption.
Tasteful three, the tasteful three on Moist Mouth Monday.
Whoop!
Oh,
On this here Moist Mouth Monday.
Mouth Monday.
Oh, the tasteful three on this here Moist Mouth Monday. Metaphysically naked.
Dude,
That's how I want to be with my friends. That's what he put
now
up.
there's the caption. Metaphysically naked.
Metaphysically naked. Uh-huh. um, um,
Too much.
but yeah. So it's like it's really you can go anywhere with this. There's some of the soul seal cards, when you get to some of those. Some people like you probably want to save those for the end of the game. But it's pause the game. I'll actually read one of them to you. Pause the game and invite each person to contribute to a time capsule. It can be a thought, a reflection, an intention, or anything they want to preserve the future. As a group, decide how to capture these. Work together to decide when and how this time capsule will be revisited. Make it a symbol of your connection and growth. So come up with a time, however you want to do a time capsule. You can do a video as a group of friends and say, we're going to revisit this video in a year from now,
Facebook will do it for
you
you.
know, or
I'll tell
Facebook will
you.
do it for you. Right. We're
We'll
going
give
to do
you
this
all
and we're going to put it on
the
Facebook. That way you ain't got to worry about it because Facebook can take care of it and it'll pop
So
up
will
in your
Google.
memories for you. So it's just really kind of just prompts and the rest is history, really. History we make. So, and of course, on purpose, I didn't pick the silliest things in here. Because I imagine this with some people, I could see where some friends would go with some of this stuff. So it actually could make for a very interesting night
Oh,
or an interesting time.
time was had.
A time was had.
Time was had.
Thank y'all for coming out to the show on Moist Mouth Monday. with the
So yeah, we need
tasteful
to do something
with
with
the
Moist Mouth
tasteful
Monday.
three faces of interdependence. We thank you. Listen, if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem.
Mm.
Do the work. Do the work. Do the work.
Don't
Let's
mix
get.
in that show because we gonna be in the same room.
We're gonna be in the same room
Next month, we're gonna be in the
next
same
month
room. Those always go
on
pretty good.
Mhm.
April 13th. Tune in to the show.
Yes.
April 13th. We will be in the same room, all three of us, sharing air, sharing space. So make sure you stay tuned. Share this page, share this live. Do the work. Do your part. And if all you got in you is to share this button or maybe to talk about it at work tomorrow or reflect on it tonight or bring it up with your loved ones, do something. Do something. As my boy Mike Leonard would say, actions versus yapping. So do the work. Do the work. Y'all want these soul circle cards? Go to check out LeAnzar Stockley. You can
.com,
check them
the
out,
merch.
at LeAnzarStockley.com, the merch. Check him out also at Society 61. You want some books, get with him. You want some books from this lovely, check her out at Love's Great Design. Also check her out at AngelSimmons.com. Her website is full of deets and information and good stuff. Meet us back here next month, April 13th. We'll be in the same space. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Um, y'all stay tuned.
Stay
Take care.
tuned.
Do the work.